Up with KREM begins now.
6 o'clock here on your Thursday morning. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Up with KREM and streaming on KREM 2+. I'm Tim Pham.
And I'm Nicole Hernandez. Before we get to some of our big news for the day, we want to start with our weather. Things have been hot and they have been under critical fire danger the past few days, but all of that going away today. We are much calmer, we are even cooler. And take a look at this beautiful look over Riverfront Park. The sun is shining and the skies are blue. We do get a chance for some haze moving its way in, but we'll talk about that later. Right now we are at 60 degrees here. We have not dropped below 60, so it's kind of a perfect morning. Not too hot, just a little bit crisp. It's going to be great. Also, take a look. Relative humidity higher, winds lower. All of these things helpful in terms of taking us out of that critical fire danger. Like I mentioned, we have the potential for some smoke and haze to move its way into the region. Right now, our air quality sits at good. We're at 25 here in Spokane. Later today, the forecast is for it to potentially drop down to moderate. Nothing crazy, but just enough to talk about because it is a potential. As for this afternoon, besides that smoke and haze, we are going to be warming up to the low 80s.
Here's a live look at the traffic impact this morning at I-90 in Liberty Lake right now. You can see traffic flows are moving great in both directions. We're not seeing any major issues, no crashes, which is great news here on this Thursday morning. We'll keep a close eye on traffic throughout the day. We'll let you know if there's any problem spots. On Up with KREM, we bring you weather and traffic together every 30 minutes. This morning, we are tracking a growing wildfire out in Lincoln County near Carp Lake, just north of Davenport.
DNR says since it sparked yesterday afternoon, the fire has burned about 4,000 acres. It's called the Western Pines Fire. So far, DNR says 3 cabins have burned. They put level 2 and level 3 evacuations in effect yesterday evening.
On your screen are the latest evacuation orders from the Lincoln County Sheriff's Office. They say people who live in the Cayuse Cove area from Bald Ridge Road to Circle Road should be prepared to leave. The Sheriff's Office is urging people to stay out of the area as crews attempt to create a fire line. The Lincoln County Fairgrounds are open for evacuation staging. The cause of the fire is being investigated. Firefighters are also battling the Hope Fire in Stevens County. That fire has burned more than 3,000 acres near Northport and is 0% contained. There are currently level 3 and level 2 evacuations. Stevens County says they will be reviewing those evacuation orders later this morning.
An update this morning on the arsons in downtown Spokane. Police arrested the man they think set the 6 fires. Police arrested Chad Horn in Liberty Lake around 7 o'clock last night. He is accused of starting the string of fires that damaged at least 4 buildings in downtown Spokane. Just last year, Horn was convicted of reckless burning in the 1st and 2nd degree. He had started a similar string of fires around the same area. The Spokane Police Major Crimes Unit is now investigating to figure out if he has sparked any other fires recently.
Over a 36-hour period, Spokane firefighters responded to 15 suspicious fires across the city. The fire department put out a statement and a timeline of those fires. First, the early morning fires in downtown Spokane on Tuesday morning, followed by the brush fire along the Centennial Trail and West Elliott Drive. Then an overnight fire on Wednesday threatening homes near Ash and Euclid, and another fire around 9 a.m. at the People's Park. No one was hurt and no structures were damaged. Anyone with information on any of these fires should call Crime Check.
Well, this morning, friends, family, and other first responders will gather to celebrate the life of one of the firefighters killed in the ambush on Canfield Mountain.
Today's events will honor the life of Battalion Chief John Morrison with the Coeur d'Alene Fire Department. This morning, members of the community are invited to show their respects ahead of a private service.
KREM 2's Brandon T. Jones is live in Coeur d'Alene this morning with a look at the procession route and the ways you can show your support. Brandon?
Yeah, good morning, Tim, Nicole. Well, this is just right here at Coeur d'Alene Lake Drive. This is also where the procession this morning will be coming to an end. Firefighters are asking that if you would like to show your support and offer your condolences and pay your respects, to do so along the procession routes. The funeral will be private just for firefighters, family, and friends. So today's celebration of life is for Battalion Chief John Morrison. There's 2 of these this week to honor these 2 local heroes. Again, John Morrison, a father, a husband, a brother. The 52-year-old was with the Coeur d'Alene Fire Department for more than 28 years. He also served as a longtime paramedic. One day after the ambush, Gabe Eckert, the president of Coeur d'Alene Firefighters Union, shared his last memory of Battalion Chief Morrison.
I just want to share a little story. 2 weeks ago, my last memory with John. I had the opportunity to work with him as he worked back on my shift as a battalion chief. We had kind of a rare moment, and we went out onto the back patio and we smoked cigars and we talked with each other. We talked about being better fathers, we talked about being better leaders, we talked about being better firefighters. And I just want to say I am so incredibly grateful that that gets to be my last memory with him. So if there's anything you guys take away from this, I want you to know these were dedicated men, and they were dedicated to this community.
So if you would like to show your support this morning, here's a look at the procession route. It'll start around 10 a.m. at the English Funeral Home. From there, it'll head south on 3rd Street, east on Sherman, and south on Coeur d'Alene Lake Drive. From there, the road will be closed off to the public as the celebration of life is held at the Hagadone Event Center. Tomorrow, there will be another procession in celebration of life, this one for Kootenai County Fire and Rescue Battalion Chief Frank Harwood. Once again, the community is invited to gather along the procession route to honor his service to the community. Again, the families of both of these firefighters have asked for this ceremony of life to be a private event just for family, friends, and there's expected to be about 800 firefighters here as well to offer their support and pay their respects. For now, reporting live here in Coeur d'Alene, Brandon T. Jones, KREM 2 News.
Well, earlier this week, we got an update on the 3rd firefighter who was shot.
Engineer Dave Tisdall is in stable condition in the ICU at Kootenai Health. He was shot once in the back. Coeur d'Alene Fire says Tisdall has a collapsed left lung, damage to his clavicle, several shattered ribs, and spinal swelling. They say he can't move his legs right now, but are hoping that will change when the swelling goes down.
I would consider Dave my closest friend in the department. The cool part about Dave is I think there is a long, long line behind me of people that would say the exact same thing.
Tisdall's team says he alerted other firefighters about the gunman, which saved lives. Funds have been set up for the families of all 3 firefighters killed or injured in the ambush. If you would like to donate, we do have more information on our website, krem.com.
We have an update in the search for the Washington father accused of killing his 3 young daughters. The Marshals Service says the man they thought could be Travis Decker in the Sawtooth National Forest turned out not to be him.
So the U.S. Marshals Service located that man, but multiple witnesses that reported seeing at the Sawtooth National Forest who they thought was Travis Decker. The man cooperated with investigators and said he was hiking in the Bear Creek area this past weekend. At this time, law enforcement has stopped searching for Decker at the Sawtooth National Forest.
Another update now about the missing man from Spokane. We have new surveillance video of 72-year-old Harry A. Ballman. This is from Sunday near Highway 2 and Deer Park Milan Road in North Spokane. His family thinks he is hitchhiking to the Boston area where he is originally from. Now, he tends to wear Seahawks gear, so if you see him or have any information, you should call Crime Check.
Governor Bob Ferguson is trying to keep Planned Parenthood available to Washington families even without federal funding.
What President Trump has dubbed his Big Beautiful Bill suspends the organization's Medicaid funding for 1 year. The governor says Washington state will backfill that funding, which is about $11 million. The money will come from the Washington State Health Care Authority budget. He says that won't be enough, though, if bigger cuts go through.
We are talking billions of dollars every single year, billions of dollars. The state of Washington does not have billions of dollars lying around to backfill those, and we are not alone.
Even before this bill passed, federal law already banned using Medicaid funding for abortions. And still, Planned Parenthood is one of the largest Medicaid providers in the state. They offer cancer screenings, birth control, and preventative care.
Well, take a look at this. You are seeing someone driving along the Centennial Trail. The Spokane County Sheriff's Office says this happened on Saturday. Deputies tried to approach the driver on the trail to get her attention, but it did not work. They tried to deploy spikes, but the driver drove right over them.
As you can see, police were tracking the car from the air. When deputies were finally able to stop her, the woman said she was lost and new to the area. However, police say they smelled alcohol. They ended up arresting the woman for DUI after her breathalyzer test showed she had a BAC of .157 and .147. A Seattle man is recovering after falling almost 500 feet in Kittitas County. Deputies say the man was mountain biking near No Name Ridge, just north of Little Ketchies Lake. He fell into a ravine while doing that. Despite having a spotty cell signal, the man was still able to text help to 911. Deputies say they had to hoist him out by helicopter.